Taurus, in the next 48 hours, you're going to be feeling and looking a hell of a lot better. I feel recently, and for some of you, it's dating a bit further back as well. You know, it's been a long time that you've been quite distant, you know, disconnected even. And you've been feeling, as far as others' perspective goes, you've been feeling to them quite far away, maybe, unreachable. And so in the next 48, as you become a bit more connected, a bit back with it in a sense, you know, and again, you're looking and feeling better, things start to fall into place. You start to feel like you have more control and you really feel on top of your game. It's like Taurus isn't going to miss a beat, you know, in the next 48, Taurus is going to be on it. And I want to remind you that you don't always have to stop what you're doing because of background noise or bad energy. You may find that more than ever, things like this that have been working against you or been a burden or annoying now start to work to your advantage. Beautiful. And so with this new perspective, this new set of alignment coming into play, you get to do better, you get to choose better, and you start to feel like you are changing the game for yourself because you are. And people are really thankful for you. I don't know why I'm getting that. It's like, you may be experiencing a lot of thank yous coming through, even online for some, but it's to say that people are even admiring you energetically and you can feel this. And so they're saying, eat it up, because people have judged you and stared at you rudely, even incorrectly for way too long. And so when people look at you, when people, you know, choose to associate themselves with you or, step towards you in a sense, or stick around you, they will be choosing to provide the right kind of energy and words and whatnot, or they won't be doing so. You know, it's not even going to be that someone steps towards you and then it's corrected or they leave, you know what I mean? Your presence, it's either they choose to, as far as spirit goes, they either choose to come towards you correctly to begin with, or it's just not happening, okay? So a lot to begin with. Let's jump into some tarot. Taurus is about to choose differently, and then they're going to live life more to the fullest. It feels like some of you really want to move to somewhere new, or you want to kind of begin again in some way, shape, or form, but it's not time yet. You know, in divine timing, you'll start to see that come to be, and things will fall into place to support it. But I feel they're saying, we can't wait around. You know, you can't be saying, well, this place doesn't work for me, so I'm not going to live my life. Come on, Taurus. And so I feel that energy is drifting from your existence, and you're thinking, what can I do to live more? What can I do to feel more fulfilled? What can I do to satisfy myself instead of, you know, going for that bad habit or that normal routine that is on repeat or just comes to be occasionally and is not healthy. So whatever that means for you, just take it with a grain of salt, please. Coming out is the Four of Wands. You've been feeling a sense of stagnancy. You've been feeling like things aren't going anywhere, or they start to and then they rewind, or they just again go stagnant. And I feel at times you were so disconnected that was playing into it, but it wasn't the main reasoning. You know, there was at times, I want to say, certain negative entities in the spiritual realm causing this, okay? It's like, for example, this may click for some of you, you would post something and it would be amazing online, right? And then this isn't for everybody, but you then would think, well, why in the world isn't this doing well? You know, you maybe would blame the algorithm or something of the sort, or maybe how new you were, or maybe the fact that you didn't post recently. But spirits were negatively going to visit people who they knew were tuning into your content or were about to, and then they would stop them, right? Or they would convince them to stay away from your channel, your content. Just an example, all right? And so we need to recognize that this is a time where your spirits and other spirits are going to be helping you more than ever, and things start to fall into place. There's no stagnancy like you've been experiencing, but it also feels like they're wanting you to create music. It's the sense of Taurus at times feeling a bit dry in energy, and then Spirit is like, why do I keep saying like today? Spirit is then saying, well, music is a huge source of, at times, quality movement for you, getting your voice out there in a different way. It's even a chance to get a release, to change your energy, to maybe adjust the energy in your environment. And so they want you to shake your tambourine, is what I'm getting, and let the music come to be. Express yourself differently. You keep hearing Taurus is feeling different. Taurus is going to experience life different. Well, now you get to actually feel the effects and see the results of this, because a lot has changed. And guess what, my friend? A lot more is going to be adjusted and changed, and you're part of this moving forward. But it's to say that this isn't something you need to worry about or focus upon. Stay present, because a huge negative for you will be overly focusing upon the future. I don't see you reflecting to a super extent, okay? It's more that you are thinking in a Three of Wands kind of to the horizon, to the better, to the next few steps ahead. And they want you to remember that this can work against you, all right? The present moment is going to be your best friend. So there's a focus on when you feel like you should hold back from putting in effort. And then they're saying, but when you feel like putting in effort, when you feel like it's time to buckle down and accomplish, but in a loose kind of flowing manner, in a trusting manner, there's just magic that you're about to create. And again, you're not really missing a beat. And part of it is trusting yourself and spirit when you're not meant to get things done. Also when you're meant to get things done. So it's like things are just happening when they're meant to, exactly as they're meant to. And you feel quite invigorated in regards to this. It's like a bit of an electrifying vibe is about to become who you're seen as. Interesting. It's to say that people have been viewing Tauruses as a bit boring. Tauruses can be a little boring at times, but it's not who you are on a core level. It's just that you don't force it. It's just that you're chill and for the most part, I want to say this collective is a work smarter, not harder kind of an individual. And then while you do work hard, all the meanwhile. And so I feel like there's people maybe at a distance and up close for a lot of you that are now seeing you in a more invigorated light, because it's like your shine, your glow, your spice is now coming back to be, all right? And you start to feel more inspired in regards to life in general. But the Four of Cups coming out because when you don't feel like connecting with somebody, there's absolutely not just one, but many reasonings behind that, beneath the surface. I want to say that Spirit wants you to remember that you can fool around with somebody, you can date somebody, you can hang out with a friend or an acquaintance, you can associate yourself with certain types of people. But at the end of the day, when you already know or have felt somewhat that this person or this type of energy is not going to be right for you moving forward after a certain point, it's just going to take a huge highlight. You need to remember that you are on point in regards to these things. And they're also saying if we need to remind you of things, if Spirit needs to remind you of things, even if it's been repeated to you or said to you very clearly, we will. It's like you digest something quite efficiently at certain points, and then it's like it goes in reverse and then it's no longer digested, or you just kind of say, well, I got what was being said to me. I'm going to put it aside, And then they're saying, well, we said it multiple times, or we're saying it multiple times for a reason. Let it sink in and let it stay. Utilize it to your advantage. Because I really feel for the most part, 97% of the time is what I'm getting. Spirit's coming through. We're not going to be saying things just to say it, right? Or to work against you. But 97% of the time or so, the spiritual messages coming through, even through other people's readings like this, will really be beneficial. And so they're saying keep your ears open, keep your eyes, open. Don't be hyper aware to such a negative extent, but they're saying we're here to help, and then you're going to feel like it's now your turn to then help others, right? And so your helpful nature, let me try that again. Your helpful nature is being put to the test, all right? Because we want you to feel like you can up and choose intuitively to help people without negative SHIT getting in the way, or negative BS getting in the way, including other spirits. But it just feels like now is a time for you to be able to feel comfortable with assisting other people, which will absolutely indirectly assist you, okay? And so we also are reminding this Taurus collective, when you help other people, it fulfills you, and I sense that that's part of what you've been feeling, a lack thereof which in the recent past. Fulfillment, satisfaction, inspiration, creativity. It's like this lack of color. I kind of feel the need to mention, I can relate to you because I live here in Bakersfield, California, and it's not a bad place to live. It's just in the middle of nowhere and it's too hot. And it has a bit of a rusty, dusty kind of boring vibe to it. It's kind of blah. And it doesn't match up with who I am and who I'm becoming. And I feel that and I feel the effects of it. But then they're saying it's about what you do with it. It's about who you choose to be each day you wake up and whatnot, instead of allowing your environment to choose that for you. Okay. But let's wrap up your reading by saying where you've been feeling a lack of finances you're about to receive. All right. There's no super easy routes to your financial freedom, but it feels like it'll gradually come to be. Just be smart with it. Where you feel like you haven't been fitting in, they're saying focus on your abundance, right? Focus on your bag. Spirit is saying this Taurus collective is about to live. All right. So that is what I have for you. I hope these messages were truly helpful. Please do take care, Taurus.